think I'm live. So, probably get on not a rampage, probably this might turn into like several different topics, but I'm going to try to keep it on point. As you can see from the title, what did I even call this? Stress, overwhelm, and how to handle nutrition and fitness during different seasons of life. And the reason I wanted to come on and talk about this kind of stuff, not a week goes by where I don't have 5+ clients tell me how stressed they are and overwhelmed, and that they didn't do what they were supposed to do last week. And sometimes people will ghost me because they're feeling ashamed because they didn't get to, it's just been a shitty time for whatever reason, whether it's work stress or personal stress or whatever. And those are the times that you really need to reach out the most. But I get it. I understand. I don't know if this is too dark or what. So the topic has been brought up, just about general like overwhelm. And the problem, and I will talk about this till I'm blue in the face, because I know from experience, like I've dealt with this myself. Stress is not meant to be avoided, okay? Stress, we need to deal with the stress, not try to avoid it. So whether that's, and I need to do a better job, like, it's funny, when I first got into coaching and training, early on in the early days, I never understood the importance of mindset and psychology, and how years later I would have actually studied that more than the actual fitness and nutrition piece, because what I'm finding out is the mindset and just psychology and behavior change is really the key to getting clients success, because it doesn't matter if we have the best training programs or we have the best nutrition plan. Like, if somebody can't adhere to it or follow it, then we're never gonna make changes, right? So I really am trying to learn a lot more about that kind of stuff, because that's the stuff that's gonna make the difference in the long-term impact. So I really want to do more deeper work with clients from the mindset perspective. And I'm not a psychologist or anything like that, but that's I really would have. I think the mindset piece of things in psychology will help clients get better results way more than like, here's the perfect training plan, nutrition. So anyways, we're going to talk seasons of life. And we have really great intentions when we start out to do something, whether that's you want to lose weight, you want to drop fat, you want to, whatever, you have this fitness goal. The intentions are there, and we tell ourselves we're going to do this thing. We're going to work out 5 times a week. We're going to nail our nutrition. We're going to, be 100% or whatever. And I don't think you should try to be 100% with that kind of stuff, because you're just setting yourself up for failure when you don't, when you make one little mistake. You have to understand that we have all these seasons of life. Sometimes we're able to focus more on our nutrition and our workouts and our fitness. And then there's other times of life when we may not be able to, and that's okay. Like, there's seasons of life where work is a little bit busier. Seasons of life where maybe you're going back to school and you have to put a lot of your focus on there. Seasons of life where you just had kids, you have young kids, and you have to attend to their needs a little bit, more than your own for a while. Seasons of life where you just, if I'm being personally like honest, like seasons of life where my depression was worse during specific times. Seasons of life where you're just not in the mindset to be 100%. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. But what the problem is when we put these expectations in our head that we have to be 100% all the time, and then these specific seasons come up, then we just throw in the towel and we don't do anything. So roundabout way of what I'm saying is, if you're going through something right now where that's causing a lot of stress, or you're working more, or just you're in just a season where fitness and nutrition is maybe in second place, you just need to find out what your limits are. What can you realistically do, even if it's small, and, do that. Like, okay, I'm going to school full time. I'm not, just an example. If you're going to school full time right now, maybe you can only do 3 workouts a week, which, by the way, will still get you results. And once you're done with those things, once you're done with school, or once you get past that season, then you can add an extra day. You have to be like honest and realistic about where you're at, both mentally and where you're at just from a life standpoint. And that's something that you have to decide and think about. But I always talk about turning the dial up, turning the dial on, or turning it off. It's like, we don't have to turn it all the way up to a 10 and then turn it all the way down to 0. We can turn it down a little bit to where nutrition, right now I don't have the mental capacity to be 100% with nutrition. I'm okay with that. So I'm going to be 80%, and I'm going to, every day my lunch is going to be, I'm going to choose some whole foods and make that commitment versus all my meals. I don't have the time to, this is like real world example. I want to do a powerlifting meet this year, but it's literally another part-time job, and I don't have the time right now to do it. So I'm cool with, I only have the time to do 3 workouts a week, and I'm going to maximize that time. And that's what I can commit to right now. So don't overcommit yourself to things that you're not going to be able to do just for the sake of, I don't know, trying to think of a good analogy to make it like simple and easy for you to understand. You don't have to do and be 100% all the time to get results. Sometimes we got to back down, we got to slow down. It doesn't mean we can't keep crawling forward, but just really think about where your season of life is and what you can commit to, and know that it's okay to back off a little bit. Okay? Know that it's okay if you you shouldn't be perfect. Like, you should always each week, strive to be a little bit better, but just be realistic. I don't think enough people think about that. They don't think about how realistic their current situation is for what they can do, because in our minds we tell ourselves things, but when we actually do them, it doesn't turn out the way we think. So be realistic, but also have like a bare minimum commitment for yourself. Like, my plan is to work out 4 days a week, and then all of a sudden it's Friday and you've only done 1 day. Your bare minimum is 2 days a week. As long as you get the bare minimum done, like, you can feel good. You can feel good about yourself. But being overwhelmed and stressed tends to lead us into the dark hole of doing nothing. And nothing is going to get you nowhere every time. So done with my rambling. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about what season of life you're in, what you can truly commit to, and that it's okay to take things down. It's okay to not be always, it's okay not to be perfect all the time. And give me 3 of your like bare minimum commitments that you feel good about if you complete each week. So any questions, please let me know. I know I ramble a little bit, but just wanted to come on live and kind of just jam a little bit on that.